Dude, is your hair not tied this time?
No,
I was about to say, I was
no.
like, did your hair grow within the last week I saw you? Holy shit, dude. That's a headbanging kind of hairstyle. Ah, damn.
I've never had long hair before, so why not, you know? If Caleb chooses to include this, man, the fucking struggle is real, dude. The other day, I put fucking conditioner in my hair, and I used purple conditioner. It's legitimately purple. And then I was like, my my wife was right outside the shower. Like, she can't see me or anything, but we were just talking while I was showering. You know, I was like, dude, I don't remember if I put my or if I rinsed out the conditioner. And then I, like,
Oh,
did the whole thing with the towel and all that type of and then we got out and we just went about our day, and then, like, later in the day, she pointed out the towel that I used, it was all purple. She's like, "I think you left the conditioner in your hair, dude."
oh,
I did. I know, man. I'm not used to having long hair, but I'm here, dude. Let's fucking do this. Yo, I gotta tell you what I just saw, dude, on YouTube. It was sick. But after I tell you about that on YouTube, I want to talk about the fact that in the past, in episodes you guys might not have seen, we discussed funk. Remember that, dude?
yeah.
And I brought up examples like Average White Band, Tower of Power, the Motets. I mean, that was a good episode, man.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we have that one in the can. But what I didn't do is I didn't mention I wouldn't call them an underdog, maybe a dark horse, somebody that you wouldn't necessarily think about when you thought about funk, but you know them. Even at your age, you know them. These guys that we're going to discuss today came out of nowhere and were the pioneers of the rap rock movement of the late 90s that would spur on the new metal rap rock kind of vibe that brought us into the new millennium. The group that I'm talking about, again, y'all know about it, Rage Against the Machine.
Gene.
We're going to discuss
Ah.
Rage Against the Machine today because even though they're recognized as a rock band, not metal, but definitely a talented rapper who was not black, which was revolutionary at the time of Tupac and Biggie and all those. Kind of a redhead, kind of short and very fucking angry, and also Native American. The front man of this band was Zach De La Roca. The band was made up of four very, very smart guys. And today, we're going to examine two songs from this empire that recently broke up, which is Rage Against the Machine, sorry. And at the end, we're going to come at you with something a little different that I didn't know came from the same era, and I heard it in a weird place at a weird time. Thank God for Shazam, and thank God for Diet of the Soul. I'm Colin. He's Caleb. Let's fucking do this, dude.
Hi, I'm Colin, a musician for 3 decades, producer for 2, and FM radio pro for 1.
And I'm Caleb. I've grown to realize just how much I enjoy many different kinds of music.
Hell yeah, man.
And I've made it my mission to appreciate music on another level, beyond just hearing it.
So why don't you join us as Caleb and I take turns ripping into and sharing our favorite music with you? Take it away, brother. Let's freaking do this.
Children, plug your ears. The Diet of the Soul podcast has grown up words.
Oh boy.
Hell yeah,
So
buddy.
what's the fascinating thing that you have discovered?
Um, Wait a minute. What?
Well, before we get to
Oh, the show
before
that
we
I was,
get to
yeah,
rage,
dude.
you did
Yeah,
want to mention something that was that fascinated you.
yeah, dude. You're okay. Sorry, took me a second. I had some computer difficulties before we started recording. What he's referring to is something that I watched on YouTube right before we started. Do you know the phrase "the Night Stalker"?
I don't think so.
Okay. So I was born and raised in Glendale, California, and uh, for those of you listening worldwide, that's in California. Um, and in this area in the mid 1980s, when I was about 7 years old, there was a serial killer in my area that kept uh, killing, raping, and the thing is that where I grew up in this time, our doors were not locked. Sometimes we would leave keys in the ignition of the car parked outside. It was a safe area, and all of a sudden, look it up, dude. Uh, the Night Stalker, the entire city of LA started locking their doors because this guy's MO was to find unlocked doors, let himself in, and then do whatever he wanted to do with whoever was inside. Lots of people died. And when I was a little kid, I just kept hearing the phrase the Night Stalker. The Night Stalker. He's out. And he literally had everybody afraid. Dude, your dad, I bet you your dad remembers this. Um and like all of a sudden, dude, it went from unlocked doors and safe feeling, suburbs and all that shit to everybody was fucking terrified. And uh I just watched a documentary of this guy who broke down like minute by minute the day this guy was caught. His name was Richard Ramirez, and I refer to him in the past tense because he has since been executed. But yeah, Ramirez, a Satan worshiper who was, yeah, dude, like for the course of like, I don't even remember, I think it was like 18 months or something like that. Everybody was scared to death of the Night Stalker. And so that's the reason I was a little bit late, is because I was absolutely riveted because I fucking lived this shit,
Yeah.
dude.
Uh, okay.
Like we were scared to death.
So there's like an old school YouTube meme of uh this guy with like frizzy hair. He had like a bandana, and this was also the original clip was like a TV interview, and he was like, you better hide your kids, hide your wife, because they're raping everybody out here.
He's climbing in your windows, he's snatching your people up, trying to rape them, so y'all need to hide your kids, hide your wife, hide your kids, hide your wife.
And then the meme
Okay.
is like they didn't vocode it, but they like made like this the classic thing to do.
Wait, they didn't what?
Uh,
They didn't
okay,
vocode it? What is that?
okay, wait, because you're gonna lose my train of thought here. I'll get back to I'll
Okay.
get back
Okay.
to that.
Yeah, sorry.
The
All
typical
right.
thing to do for like meme something popular or funny back in like the 2000s was make a song out of it. Uh,
Okay.
so yeah, it was like hide. It was just a guy saying hide your kids, hide your wife, because the rape. Antony Dodson, victim's brother. Uh, I don't know what. I don't know if it was like from the Night Stalker, because what's making me think of this is what you said, that the Night Stalker made people lock all of their doors all of a sudden, and he would. Did you?
Yeah.
Did you? I may be wrong. Did you mention that he would rape people, or just he would do whatever?
Yeah, dude, even old ladies. Like seriously, the guy was a menace. And we didn't know all the like intricate details of the terrible shit that he did at the time. Now we do because we have forensic investigation of all the damage he did. But like at the time, All we knew is that this guy was just I think they originally called him the walk-in killer because he would just come up to your front door, test the doorknob, and then walk in if it was unlocked, and then just wreak havoc. So yeah, he was unhinged. I mean, good riddance and shit. But yeah, dude. Hey, when you find that meme,
Yeah,
splice
I'm
it in
going
right
to.
here. Cool.
Okay, so
All right, make note
I
of the time.
so Genius says for a song, because Genius is known for like taking a song, taking the backstory for it. Uh, One fateful day in 2010, a man attempted to rape Antoine Dodson's sister. The local news had an interview with the Antoine Dodson himself. He warned the people of Lincoln Park, Alabama, to hide their family members from the rapist. Uh, yeah, but they got like, I think it was one of the very first song memes that ever blew up. Like uh, it was just it was kind of a cornerstone for the 2000s. Uh, anyway, that's what made me think
Shit,
of.
I've never heard about
Yeah,
that,
that's what
dude.
made me think of it. So I think I might be wrong. It was just like kind of similar. But to answer your question on what vocoding is, it's an electronic mechanism that reduces speech signals to slowly varying signals transmittable over communication systems of limited frequency bandwidth. If you could glean anything from that, coming from Miriam.
Oh my god.
Okay, I'm gonna have to splice in also this because vocode, a lot of people like to vocode certain clips of something like a movie to, like, let's say Gangsta's Paradise. They would vocode that
Right.
song into like something else. Like they would take someone else's speech from some separate video, like Angry Video Game Nerd or somebody like that, and then
Okay.
use vocoding from like Gangsta's Paradise and then splice it in. Uh, yeah, yeah.
We're gonna need an
Do you want me to
example,
just go ahead
dude.
and share it now? Let me write. Let me write. Okay, so this is Peter Griffin falling down the stairs, vocoded to Gangsta's Paradise.
Dude,
It's one of the stupidest Gen Z memes
your
ever, probably.
generation is
It's
doomed, dude.
yeah,
Doomed.
generations. It's one of the stupidest trends. I'm glad it died.
Yeah.
Because this was a trend for like back in 2017 or 18. This was really popular for some reason, specifically Gangsta's Paradise. But anyway, kind of a tangent.
Dude, Gangsta's Paradise. Yeah, that was Coolio. And when I worked at the radio station, he came in to be on like KLSX or something like that. For those of you who are just joining the podcast, I'm a former radio professional in LA. And so a lot of celebrities. And he came in, and what he didn't know is that the girl that he had to check in with at the reception desk at the time was my girlfriend. And he 100% hit on her. And she came home after work that day. I was already home, and she came in. She was like, fucking Coolio came in today. He tried to get my number and everything. And I was like, fuck yeah, dude. Did you give it to him? She was like, "No." And I was like, "Why the fuck not,
Go
dude?"
away.
Like, dude, that was Coolio, man. Do you understand how big he was in the '90s, dude? He
Yeah.
had Gangsta's Paradise. He sampled Will Smith doing Fantastic Voyage. No, it wasn't Will Smith. It was the fucking Lakeside, which was a group from the '70s that hung out in the Starbucks that I hung out at. And they would always say that their biggest check came from Will Smith sampling, or no, Coolio sampling Fantastic Voyage from them. And then Will Smith later sampled them for Welcome to Miami. So those guys would sit there with their fucking luxury cars and their glasses that cost $6,000. Like those guys after they got picked up by Coolio and Will Smith. Look it up, dude. Lakeside. The guitarist's name was Steve. That's all I remember. Nice guys, dude. Hung out in my Starbucks every fucking day, like up until about 11, and then they went to go take a nap because they were old. They were like the very picture of old heads, dude.
Man.
Oh yeah, that's a lot of hip hop talk, which is cool because there is a very hip hop influence in the band that we want to talk about today. You all know them, even if you don't listen to them. You know them. It is the quintet that is known as Rage Against the Machine. The most famous members of which are Zach De La Roca, who is the vocalist I was talking about before, and then Tom Morello. I want to listen to one song by these guys uh, in the spirit of funk, because even though that they were recognized by K Rock and which is a big radio station in LA, 106.7 I think it was. They These guys are responsible for the fucking birth of new metal. These guys were one of the first ones, and I'm saying one of the first ones because it had been done before by Biohazard, like a bunch of people. This is not a new thing. Fucking Epic from Faith No More was a rap rock song, and that came out in 80 something. So this wasn't a new concept, but these fucking guys managed to bring it in a way that everybody could resonate with just four band members. We're talking vocalist, guitarist, bassist, drummer, but these guys could lay down some fucking grooves that would wake your grandmother up and have her very, very, very mad. But your grandfather loved it and he didn't know why. So we're going to I'm going to exit this stream right here. Look at how fast I did that, Caleb. I'm growing up,
Damn.
dude. I know, dude. I'm growing up. And I'm going to share the first number that I want to talk about with Rage Against the Machine. Now, before I do this, I want to talk about an experience that I had looking at Rage Against the Machine, the concept of them being live. Let's reverse to 2006 ish, I think. Um, Glen Helen Arena is a venue that is right off of Highway 15 in Southern California, traveling north towards Vegas. It's out in what we call the Inland Empire, and it's an entirely outdoor venue. And uh, myself and my girlfriend at the time went to the Battle of Los Angeles show, which is a Rage
Mhm.
Against the Machine thing. Obviously, they were the fucking headliners, dude. We had Cypress Hill I saw live that day. Um, I mean, shit, dude. I wasn't prepared to recite them, but there were so many that we saw that day. And Rage was the dude. Fucking Be Real from Cypress Hill smoked like a 3 foot bong on stage, and this is when weed was still illegal in California,
Oh, damn.
and nobody did a fucking thing. Yeah, it happened in the summer. We were hot, not just looking. We were also, very warm, and we didn't bring sunscreen. We didn't bring water. We were totally, totally unprepared. What we did bring though was a lot of weed, and we watched all these guys from multiple genres throughout the day, and got so dehydrated and so sunburned that by the time the sun went down, we were so fucking tired and just drained that we left. And as we were going out, there was nobody leaving. And one of the security guards goes, "What the fuck are you doing, dude? Are you guys leaving before Rage?" And we're like, "Yeah, dude, hot, tired, sweaty, dehydrated, like all these things." and we got in the car and we went home and we found out that that was one of the most legendary fucking Rage Against the Machine shows that like people were lighting bonfires, there were mosh pits everywhere. Like look up Glen Helen. Um if you get a second. It's just a giant like grass hill with a stage down in the middle and center. There was so many people there and I felt so fucking bad that I had the opportunity to see Rage live, and because I was hungry, tired, hot, sweaty, and all that stuff, I fucking went home and I missed it. And that was, according to recent news, probably my last chance to ever see Rage Against the Machine live. And
Ah,
apparently, all of their shows get lit. But yeah, I think for like the third time, Rage has like disbanded. Um,
3 different
But we'll
times?
talk more about yeah,
Oh my
dude, like,
gosh.
they break up, they get back together. That's why the security guard was like, "What the fuck are you doing? You're leaving?" Because that was the first time they had gotten back together after breaking up around the late '90s, 2000s era. Um, there are 3 bands that I would drop everything to see live. Rage Against the Machine was one of them, although I didn't know it at the time. Rammstein, who we discuss on this podcast. So if you're a fan, please stick around.
Yeah.
And Sleep Token, who I've seen. I just saw Sleep Token last summer and so stoked that I saw them when I did because they're like next level now. We've talked about it on the
Yeah.
podcast. I got to see them before their internet fame changed to actual fame. And now these guys are the fucking big dogs. That being said, I put Rage Against the Machine above all of those guys and their ability to deliver listenable rock music in a fashion that just exemplifies what made new metal. Remember, these guys were late 90s. New metal was early 2000s. And so they burst onto the scene with a bunch of hits, like hit after hit, much like Sleep Token is doing now 25 years later. Um and the I think the one that got the most radio play at first was a little song I like to call Bombtrack. And we'll see if YouTube is gonna let me play
Ooh,
it. They are.
yeah. Let's
Wait.
go.
Uh,
Bombtrack.
yeah. I mean, it was a big hit. But the thing that Bombtrack did with Rage Against the Machine is that it established who the fuck these guys were. And this wasn't by any means their biggest hit or first hit or whatever. Um, but all of us rebellious graffiti street artists, motherfuckers, breakdancers, I mean, everybody that was counterculture. I was a graffiti
Yeah.
artist. Uh, we just loved this shit because it didn't just have a groove, it didn't just have funk, it had a political element to it for which Rage Against the Machine has always been infamous. And we're going to talk about that after this song and before the next song that I think totally embodies that idea because they're more than just four guys making rock. This shit was smart and was backed up by formal education. I'll touch on that after the song.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
listen to Rage Against the Machine's Bomb Track. Listen to this groove right here. Feel that groove,
Yeah.
dude?
Yeah. And I've never heard of this song before. I don't listen to too much of Rage.
That you will now.
Yeah. Which album did this come from?
This one was either self-titled or self-titled.
Okay.
Their first one.
Oh.
Dude, with a creative ending and
Yeah.
everything, dude.
There's a lot and a very, very groovy and super, super tight. Um, I can see why it's kind of like their theme, like their anthem, kind of. Uh, because how they listed a bunch of different kinds of rebellions. Um, and also the fact that I forget I forget the guy's name, but the leader that was in like the cage, they were also in the cage, so it was also
The lead singer.
yeah, well the whole band.
That's Zach De La Roca.
Well, yeah, the whole band was like in the cage, but as in reminiscent to like
Oh, oh,
how the
oh.
president was also or the that leader was also in the prison. Yeah,
Oh,
that
okay.
was
All right. Sorry.
yeah, I really could understand what they're angry about.
What
I
do you
get
think it is they're angry about? Let's get deep, dude.
okay.
What do you think they're angry about?
Definitely about the the government. Are they always about being against the US government or just like corrupt governments?
Well, I would say yes to both. Um, yeah, I would say yes to both. I mean, they've always had something to say. But it's not just government with Rage. And hey, dude, if you guys are Rage fans and like have more perspective on this, I know this is an entire conversation and it has been for almost 3 decades worldwide, like what Rage was about. I think my interpretation of their music, which is going to be demonstrated in the next presentation, is almost everything Western, like capitalism, um, politics, even the news media. These guys, I think, besides the groove that we just enjoyed, I think that a big appeal to Rage was their message, which seemed to be kind of general. But the one thing that everybody could agree on is that if you were to sum up Rage Against the Machine in 3 words, it would be fuck the man, dude. fuck the man. So we're talking landlords, we're talking governors, we're talking mayors, presidents, congressmen. They're all in it for themselves. And I think that was a big piece of what Rage kind of brought to the millennial awareness, or Gen X awareness, that you can't trust the people who tell you they're in charge. And did so with like a musical language that really pierced to my generation. I mean, you have to remember, dude, we've talked about Corn, we've talked about Limp Bizkit, we've talked about an era of music where, I mean, again, your grandma is scared, your grandpa is pissed off, your mama's scared, your dad is pissed off, dude. We had like Deftones, we had fucking Prodigy. We just had all this music that seemed to be, what I think was the hippie movement during Vietnam, and Rage touches on Vietnam. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It seemed like a style of music that appealed to younger generations to tell you to wake the fuck up, dude, because you're being manipulated. Prophecy that I feel has absolutely come to fruition, and in today's world of biased and fake news and rumor and like all kinds of things with government. These guys were ahead of their time. Now I'm going to tell you something that's about to blow your fucking
Ooh,
mind
what?
before we do this song. Tom Morello is the guitarist of this band. Now, as a musician, uh for those of you who haven't been keeping up, I've been a musician my whole life, producer for a good part of it. I've been in radio. I've been in, like, I've seen some shit, is what I'm trying to say. Except for I didn't see that show with
That
Wilhelm.
show.
God damn it. God damn it, dude. Oh, I should have stayed.
I'm so tired and thirsty.
Yeah, I was so delicate. Fucking these guys were like giving us awareness. They were doing what they were trying to do, which was, everybody on the radio back then was like, these guys are communists and they're so radical and
I did want to mention
controversial.
that at one point, the word communist, because one of my coworkers, whenever we bring up Rage, I mean literally whenever someone brings up Rage, he's like, they're fucking communists, right? Like, don't get me wrong, this dude is great. You would love the guy. Like, he's your same
Right.
age, very musical. What I can't tell if he likes like their music, because he always like just mentions that they're communists. Eh, uh,
Dude, that was a big thing. It's cool that you mentioned that he was my age because, yeah, that was a big thing because we grew up in the 80s with people like the Night Stalker, right? But in the 80s, the Cold War was still happening. And it was capitalism versus communism, freedom versus Russia. Uh, I don't remember when the Cold War officially ended, but back then we were taught to hate communists, and we were taught to, resist communist, socialist values, which is why all the fucking boomers these days are bitching about socialism and Bernie Sanders and whatever. That's a different podcast. The very fact that they were communist and wore and displayed communist emblems on their costumes or their outfits, rather, when they were doing, live shows and shit, they were open about their communism. And there's a reason for that. This is the reason that's gonna blow your mind. I just sucked 5 minutes out of our listeners right there. You guys are still really wanting to know what I meant. Uh, Tom Morello is a communist, proud communist. And when people challenge him on his communism, that online, on social media, whatever, they are usually put back in their fucking chair because Tom Morello has a doctorate in political science. So when he was busy being famous, he was also going to school and he got a fucking PhD, dude. I don't know if PhD and doctorate are the same thing. I'm pretty
I
sure they
know
are, but
we talked about Rage. I don't think it's a produced episode, but we did talk about Rage a way while back in like our first digit episodes, and you mentioned the same story. And you were we had like a backup story. You mentioned he had like a doctorate or a PhD. I'm not saying you're
yeah.
wrong, but yeah, we did talk about something like this.
Caleb's looking it up, dude. Bring it, dude.
Okay,
Bring it.
Tom Morello. How do you spell Morello? Oh, there it is.
Morello, Morro. Yeah.
Okay. Wait. Does he have a doctorate? Is that the question?
I
Or
mean, I don't know. Look him up on Wikipedia. Listener, you guys could too. The guy's, what I'm trying to
oh,
say is he's a
uh,
fucking
holds a
educated.
bachelor's in political science. Okay.
That's less than what I said.
Holds a BA.
I thought he had a
Yeah,
doctorate.
BA.
Yeah,
That's a
bachelor.
bachelor. Okay,
Yeah. In political science. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I thought it was way cooler than that. But that's still
that's
fucking
still
cool,
cool.
dude. Like the guy knows what he's talking about. He is a pundit on major news networks sometimes. Everything from PBS to CNN to I think even Fox. Uh, this guy knows what the fuck he's talking about. The friction in the band that created the split ups and the regains or the re-get togethers or whatever, I don't know a whole lot about that. I really just choose to focus on their music. But I can tell you this, dude, the very fact that their message is backed up by formal education, whether it's a bachelor's or a doctorate or whatever, dude, it's really fun to watch him flex online when somebody's like, "Oh, another rock star, commentating on political." He's like, "Yeah, dude, I have a college degree in political science. You stupid motherfucker!" Like, he gets to flex every day, dude, on guys that think that he's just some other rock star. He's not. He's insanely smart. And here's the other thing: is that, and this is exemplified in the song we're about to play is that he had such a unique take on electric guitar that he's spawned an entire generation, if not two or three, um, of people who try to either emulate or are uh, inspired by his unique take to guitar. Because up until then, we had epic guitar solos like the ones that we talked about in the guitar solo episode. Um, And they were fairly traditional, it was guitarists, like, playing the guitar, dude, it was a fucking electric guitar, and they're trying to play it the best that they can. What Tom Morello did, though, is he started to use effects and effect pedals and even the pickup switch on his electric guitar to produce like solos, samples, and sounds that we had never heard before. And we loved it because what he did is he took his electric guitar and like almost made it like a record scratching like DJ session, like super hip hop influenced. And if you guys like if you have been living under a rock on Mars for the last 40 years and you don't know who Rage Against the Machine is, but you are interested in good music, go and Google any one of Tom Morello's guitar solos because they were not like anything else at the time. He made his guitar like that. I read a story once in Thrasher was a skate mag.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, it was one of the magazines. I come from the era where we didn't have internet, so we had
Yep.
magazines. Guitar Guitar World. I think it's what it was. Anyway, look it up. Correct me if I was wrong. But it was a guitar magazine where he went through multiple experiences of the band being in the soundboard room and he's in the recording studio with mics up on his amp like trying shit to this song, and the whole band and the producers would be on the other side of the glass fucking laughing at him. And he'd be like, "What? I'm like trying something new." But between him and the editors, it was just a new thing that nobody had heard. So,
Let's see if it's one that I recognize.
oh, dude. Okay, so here's why I'm bringing this one up, dude. I do think YouTube's gonna give it to me. Yes, it is. Sweet. You may have heard the song, you may have not, but this is a song about fucking racism. All right. There is a place in LA that's called Rodeo Boulevard, which is in Beverly Hills. But there's also Rodeo Seco, which is where minorities lived. And I've never really nailed this down. So again, one more time, I'm trying to get engagement. If you know which rodeo they're talking about, please get in the comments. But this is 100% a song about racism and how it's bad, obviously. But the reason that I'm bringing this song is not because I want to bring like, you know, like political or racial topics. This is a music podcast and we're discussing
Right.
music. And in my opinion, during the verse, I think that we have one of the best hip hop beats, not live DJ, producer, produced, doesn't matter. If it was any one of those three, this is live with real instruments. And I think that this is one of the best grooves to ever be signed to a record label, hands down. So this is their sophomore album. This is Evil Empire. This came out right when I was a fucking like sophomore, junior in high school, and we loved this shit. Everybody did because it was cool and it was edgy and it was political and it had a message. When you're in high school, you're always trying to fucking convey some kind of message
Yeah.
if you want to be one of the cool kids, right? This came out right about the same time as Korn's freshman album. Uh, but I want you to pay attention to the bass because the bass, like we all know Zach De La Roca and we all know Tom Morello, but the drummer and the bass player, those names I can't immediately recall. Uh, but they were just in the background fucking doing the goddamn job, dude. That's what they were doing. And that is perfectly evidenced in the song Rolling Down Rodeo by Rage Against the Machine. Fuck it.
I have heard of this one before. I do like that character design.
Listen to that heavy ride on the drum kit. It's going to accentuate the tightness of the verse. Check this out. That's Tom Morello. He's using his pickup switch like a DJ uses his platform.
Huh.
Listen to how tight the bass and the drummer are.
Yeah.
Want you to listen to the lyrics real quick.
Yeah.
Can't waste the day when the night brings the hurt. Make a move and plead the fifth because you can't plead the first. They're talking about amendments to the Constitution. Check this out. Or because you can't plead the first.
Very smart.
Do you hear what he's saying right there?
Rolling down Rodeo with the shotgun. Your grandparents haven't seen a brown skinned man or
Since they bought
since
one.
they bought one. Talking about slavery. Yeah.
That's yeah, dude. It's so lyrically genius,
Yeah.
dude. And on top of such a fucking hard groove, dude. Also, the bassist is using harmonics here. Tom Morello, dude. See
Yeah.
how it sounds like a DJ?
Yeah. That's cool. Very unique. Yeah. Yeah. The one gripe I have about the song is that I wish like that segment was a little bit longer.
This one back here?
That breakdown. Yeah, that quick like 3-second breakdown.
Fuck the G ride. I want the machines that are making them.
Yeah,
This part?
Yeah, right here. Just a little longer. It's just so good. Ooh, what's this?
Yeah, you'll see. And then they let out with the best little fucking riff, dude. It's quiet, but you still nod your head.
Yeah, Rage. I've noticed Rage kind of likes to do that too. They like to really end with a bang.
Well, this one they let you down quiet.
Oh. They remind me like if political comics had like audio, Rage Against the Machine like would be kind of like the audio format for political comics. Do you get what I mean?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
I think that's respectable.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. They were interesting. They were tumultuous. They were controversial. They were all the things you want to be in the right time. I just wish there was a band right now that was appealing to people my age when Rage Against the Machine was hitting hard, that like they didn't really, turn me into like a political, like a purveyor of political influence, or and what they did is they fucking made me somebody who asks questions. Um
Interesting.
in that time, yeah, dude, in that time I was part of a band called Band, which is spelled Banned, and we took a heavy influence from Rage because in that time there was the internet was just showing up. Um Questions were starting to be asked, and in a context that had never existed before. But the reason why is because people didn't have awareness. People didn't have awareness of the injustices that were done to indigenous Native Americans. People didn't know about the political machine, which I might add is the exact machine against which they wanted us to rage. It motivated me to learn about the political machine and how it works and how it's still working today. Bands don't do that, dude. Taylor Swift is not doing that. Fucking even Beastie Boys wasn't doing that. Limp Bizkit wasn't doing that. Korn wasn't doing that. Linkin Park, like these guys had substance. And I would submit right here on the Diet of the Soul podcast that Rage Against the Machine was probably the biggest influence in my political standpoint, even to this day, as divided as we are as a nation. What they did is they told us that discussion was important. And our boomer parents weren't telling us that. They were just rooted in their position. Rage Against the Machine is what showed people of my age that it wasn't just what your parents told you. It was there's so much more to be known. Even if Rage didn't tell us, there was like, take it upon yourself, get fucking educated, because what the man is telling you is not the fucking truth. And I really took that to heart. A lot of bandmates that I've had over the years are the same way. Rage Against the Machine was an important band, and that's why I brought them. I think those two songs are very good examples of combining good fucking funk, like real pocket groove shit,
Yeah.
with like authentic talent. And then there's a lot of bands that have done that, dude. That wasn't new. What was new was knowledge, education, an educated message. A lot of guys are out there throwing messages out, like fuck the cops and, fuck Trump, or, whatever. Like, these guys were commenting on the actual machine
They
that
were looking
we
at
live with every
they
day.
were looking at the bigger picture rather than specific
Yeah,
parts.
right. I mean, dude, with the Epstein reports coming out right now, it's never been, I think, since Rage, more clearly demonstrated just how bent, crooked, uh, downright evil a lot of people we put in power are. And I think that's kind of why I wanted to talk about them today, is that that's exactly what's happening. America is not putting in power their best and brightest, but rage didn't stop there. They're talking about issues worldwide, racism, fucking what, you know what? I'm not going to get into it. This isn't that episode. But you know what I'm talking about, right? Like what I'm trying to say is it took a impressionable 17-year-old that could have gotten involved with fucking drug dealers. I definitely got involved with um graffiti art, but aside from that, dude, even with graffiti art, I was tagging freedom party. So, you know, which was directly influenced by rage. Like, fuck the man, fuck everything that he's telling you you should be, challenge authority, with education. And I think that's the thing is that's been lost is that challenge authority has always been cool. Challenge
Yeah.
authority with fucking education that is not so much
It's like
anymore. So
David
that's why you have all these
it's David versus Goliath, but David forgot his slingshot.
great way to put that, dude. Hell yeah. Yeah. Don't be an unarmed David. Like get out there and read, learn about slavery, learn about tyranny, learn and not, from the fucking news or some shit. And then you go out and wear your 3% patch and a fucking AR-15 that looks exactly like mine, and you don't even know what the fuck it is you're angry at. Get education. And I think that's what Rage did. And I fucking really appreciate them for it. I think they're one of the most influential bands in not just American history. I think they were perfect for their time, and I'm grateful to them for it, like exposing to me the idea that everybody that your dad says you should you really trust? Because probably not. So there you go,
You
ladies and gentlemen. This is not the fucking end of the episode. I got one more thing that is not related at all. We can all take a fucking breath and relax because I have a cool song to show you. But you were about to say
Oh
something
yeah,
just now.
I
What
do.
was it?
I have two things I wanted to end off with Rage discussion. One with the education. Yeah, it's definitely important to have education backing you up. Uh, but the what's kind of like the tricky thing is at least so the education system is also controlled a lot by the government itself, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, dude. Sorry, I'm grabbing my next beer.
So it's also
Um,
really difficult to like know where to get the education.
I think that's part of the education, dude, is knowing where to get your education. What I'm trying to don't depend on the standard education system either. What I'm saying is have the courage to embark on a quest of your own knowledge. It's like how you and I navigate Christianity. It's my responsibility to know what it's about. It's my responsibility. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, there's no way to get deep when you talk about religion, or sorry, there's no way to not get deep when you're talking about religion and or politics or both. I will just say this without getting into either. I think that is part of what Rage did is that their message, and we'll hit Rage again on this channel for sure. What their message was is don't depend on somebody else to tell you where to get your education. Find it yourself. Look it up. And in this day and age, dude, when this song came out, the fucking biggest it was like in the very, very like newborn internet era. And you know, if you wanted to look up a fucking Wikipedia page, which didn't exist back then, it would still take 10 minutes to load, dude. Our fucking source of information was the news. If you came from a well-to-do family like I did, Encyclopedia Britannica, the dictionary, like old-fashioned shit. Information is so readily available now and so readily manipulative. Yeah,
Yeah.
manipulatable. Um,
Yeah.
that by the time it gets to your TV screen, it's already been fucked up by like 10 people. I think that's the thing that they were trying to say is don't trust it. Go find your own shit like we did. Go get like actually formally educated. Pursue the truth. That that is what Rage was about. That's why we all loved them because even on like a subconscious level, I think that everybody in that time knew that we were fucking suckers, that we were being led astray. And we could do a whole episode on this, dude, because after Rage came out, then we were all told that there were weapons of mass destruction in Iraq, which there weren't, and all kinds of shit. Like, seek the truth. That's what Rage is about. seek the truth. Like, bust out all of those fucking narratives that they're trying to tell you. And I just don't think there are enough people thinking that way today. You either have your fucking like right wing Second Amendment Trump Republicans or your snowflake fucking socialist left. There's nobody in the middle like us, like me, at least, you know, because I did what Rage said. I pay attention to all of it. That's what they were trying to tell us. So I don't know. I didn't mean for the episode to be that deep.
That's all right.
Uh,
One
I have. Go ahead,
one
dude.
last thing is you touched upon the hippie. I forget how you brought it up, but you touched upon like mentioned the hippie era as well. And I
Yeah.
what clicked for me is how there was like this polarity of first you had like the hippie era where when you had like the Vietnam War, uh, there was a lot of conflict going on, and a
Mhm.
lot of the younger generation wanted to spread like peace and love and like let's just all get along, let's all just calm down, and
Uh-huh.
rise up against this anger and conflict. And now with like the 90s, like with what Rage was talking about, you have this uprising where you have to go against, you actually have to use anger. You can't just, it's the complete opposite of what that generation was doing. There were you
So cool, dude.
Do you get what I
Yeah,
mean?
dude. Yeah. Keep going. I love where you're going with this.
uh oh, yeah, well that that was kind of it. They were
Okay.
just they
Well,
were
dude.
using anger instead though, but for good reason.
Yeah. So, I don't know how much you know about that era. I wasn't alive during that era. And if the viewer slash listener, by the way, we're on YouTube. Um, Big Brain Media Pods is the channel. So check us out there. Might even slice in some, footage of Vietnam protests. People were equally angry back then. I think what Rage did is, uh, I think that they used the exemplary talent of each member of the band to break onto mainstream so that they weren't just picket line people. That was the hill that Rage wanted to die on, was letting us know that you can't trust everything. And unfortunately, in modern times, I feel like that's an aspect of our daily life that's being fucking exploited. If I'm being honest, it's like, Rage came around and told all the cool kids that fucking you can't trust what you see on the news. So let's just put whatever the fuck we want on the news and have the underlying theme being you can't trust what the other guy is saying. You can't even trust what we're saying. Nobody can trust anything anymore. And I think that's what Rage was trying to tell us at the turn of the millennium is that you can't you just can't seek your own knowledge, be independent about your data, be independent about your experience, and know that, the 1950s slash 1960s perfect America, that everybody thought was perfect, hence the phrase make America great again, was a fucking lie. It's a lie now. It was a lie then. It takes the wool off of our eyes about exposing racism, which unfortunately now is known as patriotism and all kinds of shit, dude. It's just they were there to tell you what you didn't want to hear. And there were some of us that were listening to it on mainstream radio. And dude, I would argue about 85% of the people that were listening to that shit on mainstream radio just liked the song. They didn't have any idea about what they were being told. And these were educated motherfuckers, dude. Like college degree, political science. Like these guys were trying to tell us something. And I think that they will go down in history along with many of the greats, man. Fucking Leonard Skinner, Metallica, fucking yeah, dude. These guys are gonna be the greatest, one of the greatest bands of all time. Those are very serious subjects, by the way.
Very
So it's kind of
serious.
risky putting those on a fucking pod. But hey, you know what, dude? We're all smart. We're all nice. We all tell the truth. So join us
Try
in
to.
discussing difficult topics. Yeah. Yeah, dude. This song means nothing. This next one, as
Oh,
far as I can
really?
tell. Yeah.
Okay.
I do believe that there is one line in the song that does refer to politicians and the way things are right now. The specific line that I'm thinking of, we will discuss after the end of the song. The reason why I noted this song, and at risk of making the podcast a little bit long, I'm going to tell you how I found it, dude. There's a restaurant here in town that I got to take you to next time you visit, dude, because I swear to God, they're the best fucking sandwiches I've ever eaten, like hands down, with the exception of one place, which was Earl of Sandwich in Las Vegas. This is a close second, and the place is called Chiba Hut.
Chiba Hut. Okay.
Yeah, Chiba Hut. It's a place in my town that serves sandwiches, hot sandwiches, cold sandwiches, but the entire fucking place is like weed themed because
Co-
dude, it's
it's
Colorado.
Colorado. Yeah.
Yeah. So like you can, like Subway has like a 6 inch or an 8 inch or a 12 inch or whatever. I don't know. I haven't been to Subway in years. Fuck Subway. These guys, their sizes are tender, joint, or blunt. And fucking the entire place, dude, is painted like the inside of the walls of like, people in like school buses smoking joints, or like the whole place is weed themed. Weed themed. And I would think it was pretty stupid, except for their fucking food is awesome. So I'm sitting there having my, I can't remember what they call it, doesn't matter. It's like their version of like an Italian. So good. God damn it. I want to go there right
Ugh.
now. And there's a fucking song playing. And even their music is like stoner music. They just Lowrider by War. Like, yeah. Yeah. So I fucking found this song. I fucking Shazammed it. And this is what I got. So this isn't the original song. This is like not a cover. It's just like a remix, you know? But this is the version that I heard. And I was so excited to show it to my wife because I was like, dude, this song fucking kills, dude.
It was like a motet situation all over again, but just like a different
Yeah,
place.
dude. Yeah. Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, this is dope, dude. I really like this mix. Sorry, I gotta fucking find. Here we go. I think this is it. But it was a rock kind of remix of this song that I thought was already catchy, and I started playing it for her, and she's like, "Dude, I've heard this song." I was like, "What?" She goes, "Yeah, this is like from 2002 or 2003 or some shit." And this was the first time I heard it, and I was like, "Fuck, dude, I can't believe I haven't heard this song in like you are you telling me this song is 20 plus
20
years
plus.
old?"
Yeah.
Yeah. And she was like, "Yeah, dude." But I don't know how old this remix is, but uh I don't know. I think it's pretty fat because it's got live drums. Oh, don't fuck with me, YouTube. Dude, I don't know if oh, okay, I can control it. Yes, dude, it's like a remix but with a live band. And it's so good, dude. Listen
Oh,
to the
okay.
drummer.
Okay. Wait. Okay. Okay. So the original song is from Nerd. That's right. I forgot you said this was like a cover or like a remix. So the original is from Nerd.
Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
Terminal is what was playing this version.
Okay, well, let's check it out
Okay.
because it's a good
I mean,
song either way.
I never heard of it because so you're gonna have to proof listen
All
to
right,
it,
let's do
I
it.
guess.
Are you playing too? There we
Oh, okay. I guess I'm controlling it. Would this be like trap?
You gotta pause it, dude. It won't let me.
Okay.
I don't know if I would consider this trap. This is this is 100% what I heard at Chiba Hut. I didn't realize that it's a complete cover and so much better than the original. I didn't realize that. Yeah.
Huh.
We accidentally found. Yeah. Here, we'll back it up a little bit.
Okay.
It's so good, dude.
You
And I
should
love like
go on.
I haven't seen I haven't seen this video. This is my first time seeing it. I just have heard it.
You should be able to
Um
control it, but now.
well, yeah, I can.
Okay.
I think it's really cool that it's like like this nerdy white trio doing this song because
Yeah.
we watched the original last night like 3 times, dude. I had no idea, dude. I'm backing it up a little more because it's so good, dude. Oh, what happened?
Uh-oh. You know what I just realized though? This is like we haven't had a slow technical difficulty in a kind of a while.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
This is
dude.
actually
Maybe include this,
this is
dude.
wild. This is actually weird. This used to be normal.
Hell yeah.
Remind me again. It was like a nice groove. It was like a cool song that you just like discovered?
Yeah, dude. I was at Chiva Hut and I heard it was this version, and I was trying to find this version last night for today's podcast. And I was gonna bring you the closest thing that I heard to it, but we accidentally found this. So it was NERD. We're calling it nerd, but it's an acronym. I don't know what it means. And Pharrell Williams featuring Essyla, Essyla. But this seems to be a cover of the original. And yo, I'm like here for it, dude, because these guys, in my opinion, made this song even funkier. And it looks like they're in a fucking living room of a duplex in
Yeah.
Hollywood, which,
Yeah.
which like adds to it for me, dude. I just think it's so good, dude. I like the live drums about it. That's why I saved it.
Oh, okay. Oh, and I just realized and I just realized the mic he's using. It's I'm pretty sure it's a Neumann. This model. Okay, I'm not too into microphones. I watch this guy called Sea Dog VA because he's from another podcast I listen to. He's a live streamer, a very successful one at that, and he uses a Neumann, which is like for live streaming it's overkill, but it's like one of the tip top like best microphones you could ever pay for, and it's like a good couple of grand, I think. So this is like I'm just saying, like, this is a very very professional, like very very high end. Like this cost them so much. So they
I
must
can
be so
verify what Caleb
so
is saying.
the terminal must be successful already to have like the money to back up this.
Yeah. When I was at CBS Radio, this was every mic in every room, backed up with CBS money. So I can back up what you're saying. You're right, dude. These are
Yeah.
very, very good mics.
Yeah, I should have get yeah, because you're
And
in the
I had
radio. I
to,
should have guessed that you would have recognized you.
dude, I had 3 of these mics in my studio, and one of them was just for um communicating with other studios in the building.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
how much I know, dude. I know. It's a very highly rec. I didn't know the name of it. I'm super impressed, dude. Like I didn't know the name of it, but every time I see it, I recognize it, dude. Because I had 3 in my office or my studio at CBS Radio. I certainly don't have gear like that here. I wish I did.
I
That
wish
would
I
be
did.
sick.
Oh man,
Yeah.
one day.
I gotta recommend a better side for your act. Switch back, chronic attack, and now we're losing track. So narcissistic, your flow is cryptic. Out of your mind, unrealistic. Cut it away, forgiving the past and the present.
At first, I thought it was kind of claustrophobic, but now I'm actually kind of digging the room actually, and like how it's like really in your face, like kind of a fishbowl eye, kind of.
Yeah, fisheye.
Yeah. Oh, showing off a little bit.
Oh, yeah, dude.
There you go. You know what? I'm gonna.
Yeah, back it up, dude, for sure.
Oh, damn. It was just unexpected too.
Dude, back it up again, but go a little further. No, further.
Oh, further?
Yeah, way further.
Wait, what?
Dude, you're moving it forward. Move it backward.
You
Actually, I
just,
don't think this is the version that I thought it was. That one's
what?
even cooler. Dude,
Oh, you said you accidentally like.
here.
What the fuck?
Yeah, dude. Hit play. Dude, so good.
Nice, dude.
Yeah, dude. Here, I want to finish this episode on kind of an unorthodox note. Uh, I want to play that song from beginning to end, no commentary, anything. This version of it, which I think is way better than the original, but if you're interested in the original, then go find it. It was Pharrell Williams and NERD or Nerd. I don't know how they introduce themselves. I've never fucking heard of them, dude. I just
Me
went to go
neither.
get a sandwich. And I heard fucking the coolest song ever. So here's what you need to do is you need to tell your friends about this. You need to go on YouTube to Big Brain Media Pods, check our shit out, and then you need to tell all your friends about it because we're sick, dude. And not like we have COVID, dude. We're fucking awesome.
Oh yeah.
You know that by now if you've stuck with us that long. That's just, I don't know. That's how it goes. So, this is what we do, dude. We talk about music. Some of it's new to us, some of it's not, as demonstrated by this video. But I feel like in this time, especially because we touched on like politics and shit like that,
Yeah.
music is the language of life. Music is the language of bonding. And if you are at all interested in anything that we talked about today, let us know. But if you want to bring us something new, hell yeah, dude. Banana bread, dude. Let's fucking do this. I want to hear, yeah, dude. I want to know what you guys want us to hear, you know, from the beginning of this awesome idea. It's been a year. Do you believe that? It's been a year since we've been trying to do this.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Oh, jeez.
we've just been presenting shit to you guys and really figuring out a lot of hard lessons on the way with regard to like services and posting and schedules and shit like that. But I think we're starting to get really good at it, as Caleb said earlier. So support us with a like or a subscription or a share or get in the comments and let us know what you want to hear. Um, because honestly, I think we're running out of ideas. No, I'm just kidding. Fuck yeah, dude. Let's fucking do this, man. Music is the universal language of life. Ukrainian, Israeli, Hamas, fucking Russian, American, Mexican, doesn't fucking matter, dude. We all love our own style of music. So you tell us what your style of music is. We're going to go back to the beginning of the song, and I think we should just end this fucking episode with a replay in full of this song because it's fucking interesting. We love you, dude. Don't just hear, listen, man. Listen.
Hey, don't forget to rock on, boys and girls.
Fucking A, dude. Let's listen.
That shit. Dude, fuck. Dirty dog. I'm a dirty dog. I'm a dirty dog. I'm a dirty dog. Dirty dog. I'm a dirty dog. I'm a dirty dog. I'm an outlaw. Quick on the draw. Something you never seen before. And I dare a motherfucker to come in my face. I got something wrong. And I got it from home. And it ain't a microphone. And I dare a motherfucker to come in my face. So real, how I feel. 'Cause this society that makes a man wanna kill. I'm just straight heel, riding my motorcycle down the streets. My politicians, they sounding like strippers to me.
Oh baby you want me? Oh baby you want me? Oh baby you want me? Well you can get your slap dance here for free.
Big brain.